And they're keeping it in the air, and looks like there's a little bit of taco floatage, but they'll be sitting it down soon. And SDC A, still no buggy in sight, and we are under a minute, and we'll see when that buggy manages to make it out. It looks like it's coming out of the truck now. And SDC A, the buggy is Psychosis, driven by Mara Lynn. Fringe A, Bantam, driven by Lindsay Bernier. And they're both out onto the course. Both buggies are being suspended. And don't forget to catch WRCG's coverage at floatthetaco.org.
Floating the taco.org.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set.
And we are off in the final women's heat of the day. And the big story here is whether or not SDC will be able to put up a comparable time as yesterday and be able to knock off the incredible time from Pika where they put up 2:36. Again, if you're watching along the sidelines, be sure to stay off the track. So I know you want to lean to get a good look, but make sure you stand back and let the buggies through. And it looks like we had a good hill one time from both teams, but still not quite as spectacular as what we saw. And we'll see if the Mary Fisher time holds up. But they both push off at about the same time. We do have SDC out to about a 15-foot lead over Fringe. So, and they're starting to maintaining that distance. So, looks like we won't see any passing, but we'll continue to monitor as we go through the course. And so we're coming up around the second bend. Looks like Fringe is about 10-15 feet behind, maybe a second and a half or two. And we're coming up to the stop sign, and it looks like we'll have a split time at the stop sign of about a minute 4, minute 5. So a little bit slower of a split than what we saw with Pika. But we'll see if they can make it up on the backside. About a 15-foot lead between the two teams, maybe about a second and a half. So maybe a little bit of a slower time for SDC as they come up to their second flagger. They've pulled off to about a 40-foot lead by now and are coming into the chute. And it looks like they got cleanly into the chute, a bit of a wide line, but they're coming around okay. And it looks like Fringe also made it cleanly into the chute. And they're only about 15-20 feet back. So they'll be pretty much neck and neck picking up the buggies, with SDC keeping about a 1 to 2 second lead. So it does seem a little bit slower than yesterday. But we'll see, as Fringe has been a lot closer. And it looks like they're only about a second or two back. We'll see if the athletics performance of the SDC teams is good enough as they make their Hill 3 to Hill 4 transition. And again, there are lines on the course. There are judges primarily in the back vehicle who are looking to make sure that there's not a big difference between the or making sure that they are clean handoffs. And they're coming up the backside. We're coming towards the finish line. And we're still pretty far back, coming up towards the Lametta as they make their transition to Hill 5, showing 2:07 on the clock. So at a 24-second Hill 5 time, this could be a sub. This could be right around 2:30, 2:31. So it looks like SDC will win it, but we'll see. And the race isn't over until they cross the finish line. So it looks like they made up a fair amount of time on the backside. And they're coming up towards the finish line, and it looks like they will get across with a time of 2 minutes and look like about 2:31. So that should be enough to take it. And Fringe is pretty close. It looks like they'll make it across with a time of about 2 minutes and 42.
This is going to be close with Fringe and Spirit. So unofficially, we're going to give this one to SDC. They come in 2:31. That's good enough for first place in the clubhouse. Pika A, 2:36, and then it's going to be a toss-up for third place.
Fantastic time.
Yes, Fringe and Spirit both at 2:42, but we're going to have to see the tens and hundreds of seconds. And I know, Tom, this is close to your heart, right, with the Fringe teams, right?
Absolutely. I love to see Fringe do well. I love to see them chasing SDC through the chute and picking up time at the end of the rollout there. SDC put down a great time. The back hills were fantastic.
And don't forget that none of the times are official until they do pass the drop test. So they are taking it out to the front of Skibo Gymnasium. And we'll be doing the drop test, and you just want to make sure the teams are able to brake, release, and brake again before they cross the second line.